Okay, I just wanted to sit down and talk about kind of what I've been preparing for over the summer and why I've been doing what I've been doing. And I'm also avoiding a giant mountain of laundry and a sink full of dishes right now. And the thought just popped into me that it might be a good idea to, in a sense, journal the beginning of this journey just to see how our family grows, the things that I learn, the regrets that I'll have, and the things I'll be thankful for. So this is just the very beginning of an adventure our family's going to go on. We've decided to homeschool, and it's a decision that probably a year ago I would have laughed at and said, I am not a teacher, I'm a nurse. I am not created for that. I'll be mean. They will hate me. They'll hate learning. And I had all the excuses in the world. But something changed inside me this year. And I guess it's a little bit of a mama bear coming out of me. I just want to protect my kids and keep what is important to our family at the core of how they're brought up, and spending the majority of the day around people that I don't always agree with. Not that we shouldn't ever be around people we don't agree with, but with them being so young and malleable, and I just feel like I have a responsibility to keep my kids on track with our family values. And it kind of started out with some of the social issues that are being pushed in the schools. I reached out to the principal and like the PSA and kind of explained some of the issues that I saw that I just wasn't comfortable with. Being an elementary school that served kindergarten through 5th grade, some of the things that they pushed, it made me sick to my stomach to know I was sending my kids to school in a place that really made me feel out of place. So that was kind of the beginning of our family making this decision. And when I would reach out to the school, they dismissed me. They turned it into a diversity issue, and that wasn't it. I want my kids to be around other people that are different from them, to have different views, to have different everything. But it wasn't necessarily that they were around people that were different. It was that things were being pushed on them, and books were being read that celebrated things that we as a family don't agree with. So that was really what started in my heart a desire to take my kids out of the public school system. And I felt like God kind of called me to it also, because I know what my view was a year ago. My husband actually talked about we should homeschool for the flexibility of the schedule before we had even entered them into the school system when we moved out to Washington State. And I just like scoffed at him, like, yeah, that'd be great, but that's a lot of work. And I feel like it's only divine to have this change in my heart and this desire and motivation and optimism going into it. I think that can only come from God, because it is a scary thing to do. And I feel excited to step up to the plate. So that's kind of where we are right now. I've also kind of lost some of my trust in any of the government systems. So having my kids be close to home, having God be the center of their education, was really just the big thing for us. So yeah, private school also was too expensive. I mean, it wasn't, we could have made it work, Kyle made me make a spreadsheet with all the different prices and the locations just so that we could cover that option. And we did that. We reached out and talked, and I just really had it strong in my heart that I wanted to try this. And if I fail, then we have other options. But I just really want to give it the shot that I can give. So beginning, it's like, what are we going to do? Thankfully, I had a friend who homeschooled her child, and that kind of opened the door for me to know what the options are, because it's super intimidating. And thankfully, this is a growing thing. People are kind of sick of how the schools are not listening to the parents. So homeschooling is becoming a bigger thing than it used to be. It was strange when I was growing up, and there's still a stigma, and we're still kind of working through that as a family. But thankfully, there's so many resources, and I've just been like diving into researching everything. So we decided to go with a Christian co-op. It's called what is it called? CC, Classical Conversations. Sorry. So it's called Classical Conversations. It's got a totally different style of learning that I've been warned that it's going to feel really weird. But it comes with structure and support, and we'll meet once a week. And I think it will be really good for getting my feet wet and a good community to be a part of. And the curriculum is God-centered. So we're going to give it a go and see how that goes. It'll also be really nice to have a good friend to do it along with me. So our kids will recognize somebody, and it's not going to seem so foreign when I'm taking them out of school from the social groups that they have gotten to know over the last year. Thankfully, those roots aren't too deep yet, because we just moved out here, and then we had to move to another school because we had to move because they wanted to sell the house we were renting. So they've been kind of hopping all over the place, and something new is not too traumatizing this year, but hopefully this will put some roots in the ground so that we can stop the trend that we've been going on of changing schools every year. So yeah, we've landed with Classical Conversations. Part of the reason I really like that, aside from it being God-focused, God-centered, is that I don't necessarily have to be a tutor or teacher where I'm teaching other kids on that day, but I do have to be there and support my own child, which I want to do, being that I'm so involved in the rest of the week now also. So I really liked that. All three of my kids can go, and I'm optimistic. I think it'll be good. And then outside of Classical Conversations, you have to pick a curriculum for some other subjects when they're younger, especially. I scoured the internet, YouTube in particular, to find different influencers that could help guide me a little bit, who have done before what I am doing now, so that I could kind of learn from a mentor in some sense. There was a girl called Heavenly Homeschool who I still follow, and she looks at different curriculums and kind of tells you what she liked, what she didn't like. And she used to be a school teacher. So I felt like she was knowledgeable on curriculums and education, all of that. And she used to do the co-op that we're doing, but then they moved out to a place where they don't have it anymore. So I really liked listening to her. And she kind of guided me to choose Christian Light Education for my main curriculum for math and language arts, which you do outside of the co-op, because the co-op's going to focus on science, history, everything else really. And I'm kind of excited that I get to relearn everything because I feel kind of stupid sometimes I don't know. So I'm excited about it. So we're doing Christian Light Education. That's the other thing I'm optimistic about, listening to other people that have done this. They say if something doesn't work, you can adjust, you can change. If this curriculum doesn't work, you can choose another curriculum. So I have plan B and C and D kind of in some notes that I've taken. But we haven't started the school year yet, so I don't have a favorite per se, but we do have books that I've ordered and a plan. So that's what we're doing. My fourth grader, I should have started with that. I have a fourth grader and a first grader, and then I have a preschooler. My fourth grader will do her language arts through the co-op of Classical Conversations, and that section of it is called Essentials. So that curriculum for the Classical Conversations is going to cover the majority of her things, and then we're just going to do math independently with our own curriculum, and probably spelling, because that's an area that we seem to struggle with a little bit. And we can change things as we go. For the math curriculum that we chose, they had placement tests that you could print from their website, and I had both of my girls take the placement tests. My fourth grader was kind of right at her age range. My first grader kind of could possibly skip into second grade with the test score that she had, but there was a few things like clocks, and there were just some sections that she was I've never seen this before. So I bought first and second grade level math for her so that we can kind of dawdle with that. So I'm excited for her that she feels proud of herself, but we'll see how it goes. We're going to do all about spelling here, I'll show you some of these things. So all about spelling. Obviously haven't done it yet, but I heard really good things. So this is the spelling book that we're going to be using. And for reading, there is a reading list on the Classical Conversations. There's a community portal where they upload resources for the parents. And there's all these reading lists. I just went to the library and I put a hold on almost 30 books. And I'm just going to have them for the month, and then we'll return them and do the same cycle. And so then I don't have to buy a bunch of books. But a lot of them are history focused. And I'm starting to feel like I'm getting organized and things are getting put together. And my school focus, or the subjects that speak to me, are usually arts and animal science. And I feel like we get so much of that at home. We'll obviously feed that, but I like to do animal science with experience. So we'll go places, go to farms, catch tadpoles and make frogs and watch it in real life. And I would love to get some chickens, stuff like that. It's just a big interest of mine. So I'm sure that will just come together. For art, I plan on, my oldest is going to do a pottery class that meets once a week with a friend from school, from the public school that she went to. And then we're going to try Simply Piano. It's an app on the iPad. I have a very slim background in piano. I'm hoping that with me sitting next to her, some of it will come back and I'll be able to learn a bit beside her. Hopefully it's something that works for our family. I spoke to a friend of mine who did it last year, and she was like, yeah, this year we're getting an actual human tutor where they're going to go to her house and learn. So we'll see if that's in our future. But that's kind of what I'm planning to do for that. My 2 younger ones, I'm signing them up for gymnastics, but it's like a kind of like a PE gymnastics, and I think there's going to be a handful of other homeschool families that use it because it's during school hours. It's like 1:30 to 3 at like a nice gymnastics facility. So that will be really fun for them. I need to figure out a way to have them exposed to other sports like tennis and softball and like some of the things that I'm not interested in at all, but I know they should have exposure to them. So we might just see how the extracurriculars go going forward. But those are our plans for now. And then as having like God be at the center of our education through being with me as their teacher, the curriculums we chose are God-centered. But then also I wanted to incorporate like a Bible curriculum into their, ideally, initially, it was a daily like a subject in school. Like we would sit and focus on the Bible. And I got a curriculum that is like super beautiful, but it's time consuming. And I also wanted to join a Bible study for myself. So I'm going to instead, we'll just do like a morning prayer and read a Bible verse or like a devotion. And I haven't figured out exactly where I'm going to find the verse or devotion yet. But on like Thursdays, we're going to be joining a BSF group, and they have an excellent children's program that has students up to age 12th grade. So the girls will have like a really good foundation in Bible study along with me, but we'll be separate. And that's the nice thing about it too. And that's separate from like Sunday school. So I'm excited that they're going to get some extra Bible learning along with it. We're also signing up for a Wednesday night program through our church that is, it's called American Heritage. It's kind of like Girl Scouts meets Missionettes. It's God focused, but it builds leadership skills and outdoor skills and camping skills and survival skills and stuff like that. So they'll get to like learn archery and go camping, and I love all of that. And then to still have Jesus at the center of all of that makes me excited. So we'll be doing that on Wednesdays. And I was going to show you my schedule. Where did I put it? I don't think there's anything to... So Mondays are going to be our community day with classical conversations. And I'm hoping to sign my girls up for theater at the school that's like where they went to. And maybe they'll get to see some of their peers there. But they're so dramatic. They'd be so good at theater. And then on Tuesdays, I forgot to mention my preschooler is going to be in preschool Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So that will be really nice. I went back and forth with my husband about it, on if it was the best decision, because I know a lot of homeschool families have like 8 kids and everybody just like, they just do it all together. And we tried a trial day and I was like, thank goodness we have you signed up for preschool, because she was melting down over not having new crayons. We just bought crayons. We had all the colors she needed. But having that occupied somewhere else for a couple hours a day is going to be so helpful for my big girls. So anyways, this was one of the intimidating things for me, is like, how does like the day-to-day stuff work? So I'm going to do drop off at 9:30, and then we'll do our classical conversations memory work, which is a lot of songs that I can talk about another time, but it's just how they memorize the majority of, I don't know, like the states and capitals and the presidents and math, skip counting and stuff like that. So, so we'll do memory work, and then our little prayer/devotional memory or Bible verse. And then we'll sit down and we'll do our math, our language arts. I think I just have spelling on Tuesdays. Maybe I have it 3 days. All right, so we'll see how it goes, right? And then we'll read every day. And then I'm going to have Taylor do her piano on Tuesdays, I think. And that might just be on Tuesdays. We'll see how it goes. Wednesday, kind of the same thing, but I was going to throw in science on Wednesdays. And then Thursdays, kind of the same thing. Thursdays is when they have gymnastics in the middle of the day. American Heritage is on Wednesday too. And then on Fridays, kind of the same old, throw in geography. My oldest has pottery. So like, we're going to have a full schedule. But I'm really happy to have it like written down because it just makes my brain feel really good when I have things written down and I can like visualize them. So we did a trial day the other day. Just like we were just going to do one math lesson and see what we were missing. And I'm really glad we did it. Our co-op doesn't start until the 31st and it's like the 12th or something today. So we just sat down, we were going to do a math lesson, and I realized right away that I was missing my 2 math books, like the teacher guide. For some reason I only purchased the second half of the year and not the first half of the year. So it was really good to get that wrinkle taken care of. And then I also learned, like, my oldest does not do well with like distractions, and her sister's like crying about crayons and just like extra noise and distractions. So she was telling me how like when she was at school, she had noise canceling headphones. So I was like, great, I'll get you noise canceling headphones. And then she was like, oh, like, I just want to be alone in this room. And I was like, okay, how can we do that? So I ordered her a divider, so that she can just like, you know, like the cereal box thing. So she can sit and focus on her worksheets or whatever she's doing without having, anything to distract her, and maybe some fidgets so that she can like have her hands moving because she's just kind of a busy girl. So that was good. And they did fine. Demi like did the first lesson of first grade and she was like, Mom, they want me to trace the letter 1. I was like, I know, honey, just, we're gonna figure it out. Like we'll get you where you need to be to feel like you're learning. But that was cute. And yeah, so I'm feeling better. The prep work to get to here has been fun, but I'm super happy that I got a new printer. I got this Epson EcoTank 2980, I think it's called. I printed like 500 sheets of paper in 2 days, and the thing is a machine. It just, no hiccups, got her done. My ink is still to the top, so I've been very impressed with that. I also got a laminator, a binding machine, so that I can make workbooks, and I'll show you those. Well, I'll just show you right now. Stuck in my chair. So I made things like this, and the binding machine like punches the little holes, and then it spins the binding. And let's see, can't really. So I made a handful of those, and there's my lovely printer. So those were things that I was really happy to get. And then like basic school supplies, you know, pencils, erasers, markers. I did not buy a big erase board, but we do like memory work in the mornings for classical conversations, and this is still super new to me. But I like laminated them, and every week we have different ones. So like for each school subject, and then we have God at the center, and here we're just learning the Lord's Prayer right now because they didn't know it. So mom failed. So that's kind of where we're at. The library, I talked about that, and I've just been like organizing everything, making worksheets. I was going to show you. I'll stand back here. This is not like super, super clean, but I got a shelf so that I could put some of my things. It might have been better to have it closed, but this is just like all full of stuff. And this was supposed to be for these things, but it ended up being an art wall, and which is fine. But I laminated like all the weeks. I've made a bunch of binders and organized a lot of the papers that I've either printed or the Classical Conversations curriculum has sent me. And then I have some like books that I've ordered that are supposed to help with history. This was my Bible curriculum that I was going to use. That's super beautiful. The art is just beautiful. And over here, these are like timeline cards. So part of the curriculum is like every week you learn like 5 of these cards, and it just goes, so this is creation in the fall, and it goes all the way. There's like ancient world, medieval world. Here, you can look at me for a second. Medieval world, new world, and modern world. So, and these are like my teacher guide books. So Foundations is like the main Classical Conversations book that I will be using, and then the U.S. history-based writing lessons are for my Essentials daughter in 4th grade, and then Language Arts and Reading. This is for Demi, my 1st grader, and then we have Math, 4th grade Math, and 1st grade Math for my 1st grader. I kind of made this art bin here and tried to organize it. It's been a little bit difficult keeping it organized, and I'm still kind of working it out. This is the binding machine. It's very heavy, but I don't regret buying it at all. And then I have like a storage bin for like the second semester papers, like the second semester workbooks that I made, and such. And then here I have all of Sydney's. Some of them are old, some of them are new, but just like preschool notebooks and workbooks, because she's going to be with me Mondays and Fridays and probably overlap on the other days. So she's going to just need something to do. And then these are all like the math workbooks from Christian Light Education, and the language art workbooks also for, that one's math, for Demi. Anyways. And then I have my bin of library books here. There's like probably 20 of them by now. But I've just been slowly collecting those as the library's been letting me know that they're around. So I just thought I would document our journey thus far. And there was one more thing I was going to show you. So because Classical Conversations does memory work and like songs, we got this Yodo player, and I'll show you how it works. So my oldest actually thinks these songs are pretty silly. I like the history one. But they're catchy also, and she already has like a lot of them memorized, and she's probably only listened to them a couple times. So you press the button on the side, and I made these cards through the guidance of my chocolate, what was her name? My Chocolate Moments on YouTube. She was amazing, like an angel from heaven, I swear. Where did you go, history? I like the history song. Okay, so you just stick the card in.
Week 1. Tell me about Columbus. In 1492, Columbus made the first of 4 trips to the Caribbean on 3 Spanish ships named the Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
In 1492, Columbus made the first of 4 trips.
So it's so cute.
To the Caribbean on 3 Spanish ships named the Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria.
Okay. You get the gist of it. So my younger two ones absolutely adore it, and my older one's like, Mom. But she missed the foundations years, so she's just gonna have to be along for the ride. So anyways, that's where we're at, and I'm excited to see how we change this year and the things we learn, and I'll have to do this again so that I can compare where we've been. Thanks.